Steve, I want to move on to Caleb Williams. And in my belief that what the struggles that he's got going on are a warning sign for Shedeur Sanders. These guys, incredible college players. They get to play with more at USC. Caleb Williams had some talent around him offensively that gave him an advantage in the Pac-12. Shedeur Sanders in the Big 12 has some wide receivers that give him a real advantage over Big 12. They hold the ball too long.
Yeah.
And I want to play you this clip of Jeff Saturday, the former Indianapolis Colts, Peyton Manning center with the Indianapolis Colts, and he talked about the advice Tom Moore gave Peyton Manning early in his career, and it really helped Peyton Manning. Play the clip.
If you'd have watched Get Up, you said exactly what I just said. 1, 2, 3, throw it away. Tom Moore looked at Peyton Manning, and it was my first year. They had been 3-13. He had led the league in interceptions. I think he still has the record, honestly. And the next year, we're 13-3, and here's the difference. 1, 2, 3, throw it away, or you're getting carried off boots first. That's literally what he told Peyton Manning, and it changed the dynamic of our team. Caleb Williams right now it's paralysis by analysis. He's looking down the field thinking, I can do everything I did when I was in college. I can hold on to it. I can scramble. Guess what? Everybody in the league's just as fast as you now. Everybody can do the things you can do. You have to be rhythmic, and you have to understand what your outlet is. And if it's not there, you dirt it and live to play the next play. You don't set your team back. He's leading the league in sacks when his offensive line is at their most productive, like their pass rush win rate. He's given up 9 sacks in like 2 weeks when they have won. Like, these sacks are at like 5 seconds, y'all. So I'm not saying his line is great. I'm not trying to. What I am telling you, though, is part of this is on Caleb Williams. Part of it is on Waldron. Part of it is on other players, receivers, offensive line. There's a lot to it. But at some point, you have to be able to get rid of the football and not make something that's bad even worse. I think that's not what he's doing over these past few games.
Yeah. Steve, your thoughts?
Jason, I told you 2-3 years ago that when a quarterback drops back, it's like a grenade and you pull the pin. And Bill Walsh has always said it. You get about 2.25 to 2.5 seconds, for the most part, in the pocket to let a play develop, and you got to get that ball off. Shedeur Sanders does hold the ball too long. Jason, Cam Ward at Miami, he's been outstanding. I saw him leave a lot of early quick reads that were open on the field as he tried to scramble, extend plays, and the last fumble that lost the game, he needed to get rid of that ball. The issue is with Caleb Williams, Shedeur, and Cam Ward, Jason, I think they're good athletes. But are they the Michael Vick level athletes? Are they Randall Cunningham? No. Playing proper football at the upper levels in the National Football League, most of your quarterbacks play within structure and the rhythm and the timing of the play. Now, if you're a freak athlete that's really twitched up like a Kyler Murray, you could probably get away with certain things. But if you go back, Jason, all the way to the 80s, when I started really watching football, some of the most unathletic quarterbacks would never get sacked. Peyton Manning, I don't think he can run a 5 flat under, never got sacked. Tom Brady, probably more unathletic than he was, never got sacked. You know who got sacked a lot, though? Michael Vick used to get sacked. Randall Cunningham actually set the record. I think one year the Eagles gave up over 70 sacks. I think Cunningham's a pretty good athlete. You know why? Because they hold the ball. They let the grenade blow up on them.
Let's be honest. The insurance model is broken. Crowd Health puts your health care back in your hands. Use the promo code FEARLESS at joincrowdhealth.com. That's joincrowdhealth.com, promo code FEARLESS. That's my fear with Shedeur Sanders. This isn't hate. But I'm looking at Caleb Williams' struggle, and there are, again, these guys, they have so much talent around them, and so the competition they're facing inferior. Why not hold the ball? and hey, give my receivers more and more of a chance. You get into the NFL, it just doesn't fly. That's why there's discussions now about should we bench Caleb Williams. If Dion or anybody in the Colorado Colt are listening, that's what you have to work with Shedeur on. I think the guy's got a lot of talent. He needs to look at Caleb Williams as a warning sign. You don't want to be that guy. Incredible numbers, Heisman Trophy winner, but gets to the next level, overconfident in his arm, overconfident in his receivers to break open, holds the ball too long.
Yeah, Jason, I want to make this point. Yeah, about Jaden Daniels. The reason why he's been much more successful, I think Cliff Kingsbury has done a great job of coaching it up, but most of the times they're making quick, simple, easy reads. And now teams are starting to sit down on that. And Jaden Daniels, the only time he gets himself into trouble is when he tries to run around and he takes unnecessary hits. There is safety in the pocket. Sometimes being in the belly of the beast is actually the best place to be. Now, when you start running around, I remember Robert Griffin III having a great rookie year. And how did it really come to an end, his run in Washington? He ran the ball, and instead of running out of bounds, he turned it back inside the hash marks, and a guy by the name of Haloti Ngata nailed him. He got injured. People don't know it. That play literally changed the history of that career, and then Kirk Cousins said thank you. So again, you can be an athlete. I'd rather have you be a quarterback.
I think a lot of this is going to depend on who his head coach and offensive coordinator is, because I agree he holds the ball for a long time, but that's the way the offense is built. They don't run a real quick game, slants, and that he wants to get the ball down the field as much as he can. That is the setup of the offense, and you do that when you have these type of receivers. It's not like the old Mike Leach Texas Tech offense where it's slant, slants. Get the ball out, step, slant. So the other thing is he's not nearly as athletic as Caleb. And so Caleb actually feels like he can run around, and he does routinely take 12, 14-yard sacks because he thinks he can get away from these people because he did at Oklahoma and he did at USC. Shedeur doesn't really get away from people. He sidesteps. He runs around a little bit, but I think he's half the athlete that Caleb Williams is. And so we'll see when he gets into the league. But if he has any amount of self-awareness, he's going to think after he takes his first big hit from a guy that's 300 pounds and more athletic than he is, hey, I better get rid of this football.
Bad habits are hard to break. There's very few of us that can break off a relationship with Ronald McDonald's the way that I have. It's hard to break. And then you end up picking up Chick-fil-A as a habit instead of, anyway. Help us grow the Fearless Army. Pound that like button, subscribe to the channel, and share this video with all your fearless friends.